There is a man who changed the history of the United States, invented tools still used today, contributed to the birth of a nation, and at the same time wrote some of the deepest lessons about wealth ever formulated. Yet when people hear his name, almost everyone thinks only about the face printed on the $100 bill. But Benjamin Franklin did not become the symbol of money because he was rich. He became the symbol of money because he understood something that millions of people still have not understood today, that he realized that wealth does not come from luck. Wealth does not come from a salary. Wealth does not even come from talent. True wealth comes from character, discipline, and the ability to make decisions every day that, added together over time, produce extraordinary results. And this is exactly the paradox. Almost 3 centuries have passed since Franklin wrote his advice. Yet many ideas that today are presented as revolutionary in personal finance books had already been expressed by him with astonishing simplicity. While the world chases the next miracle investment, Franklin talked about time. While people today search for shortcuts to become rich in a few months, he talked about patience. While millions of people search for the secret of success in financial markets, Franklin believed that the first investment should be made in themselves. What is surprising is how relevant these ideas still are today. Before becoming a scientist, before becoming a diplomat, before becoming one of the founding fathers of the United States, Benjamin Franklin was an entrepreneur, a man who started with almost nothing and built his financial independence through work, intelligence, and extraordinary discipline. His life shows that building wealth does not simply mean earning a lot of money. Building wealth means learning how to manage money, making it grow, and above all, avoiding destroying it through bad habits. One of his most famous quotes says, "Beware of little expenses. A small leak will sink a great ship." A sentence written in the 18th century, yet one that seems to describe the modern world perfectly. Forgotten subscriptions, impulse purchases, easy debt, credit cards used without control, small daily decisions that, almost without noticing, end up damaging personal financial freedom. Franklin understood that wealth is not destroyed by one single major mistake. Wealth is slowly weakened by hundreds of small distractions, and this is his great lesson. Do not search for a lucky break. Build a system. Because when the system works, money becomes the consequence. Perhaps this is also why, even today, his face continues to represent the most famous banknote in the world. Not because he was the richest man of his era, but because he understood the meaning of wealth better than many others. I end today's video. We will retrace his incredible story, discover how a young printer managed to become one of the most influential men of the 18th century, and analyze the 7 rules that allowed him to build wealth, reputation, and a legacy that still survives today. Because some ideas become outdated, others become time. If Benjamin Franklin could observe the world of today, he would probably be fascinated by the progress of technology. That he would see computers capable of performing billions of operations in just a few seconds, smartphones that allow communication with any part of the planet, financial markets accessible with a simple touch on a screen, artificial intelligence, automation, information available in real time. But after the first moment of amazement, perhaps he would ask a very simple question. Are you using all these tools to become more free, or have you become dependent on them? And this is where his thinking becomes surprisingly modern. Franklin was not against progress. On the contrary, he was one of the most innovative men of his time. He invented the lightning rod, improved the household stove, studied electricity, and contributed to many practical innovations. He deeply believed that technology should improve people's lives, but he would probably have added one condition. Every innovation has value only when it increases human freedom. When technology instead creates dependency, distraction, or wasted time, the price to pay becomes too high. Let us think about modern consumerism. Every day we are surrounded by advertisements that convince us happiness is only one purchase away. Changing our phone, buying a more expensive car, following every new trend, showing others an apparently perfect lifestyle. Franklin understood this mechanism very well, even though in his time it appeared in different forms. For this reason, he wrote, "Those who buy what they do not need will soon sell what they do need." Almost 300 years have passed. Yet this sentence perfectly describes the phenomenon of modern debt. How many people work to pay for objects that, after only a few months, have already lost much of their value? How many give up financial peace of mind to maintain a lifestyle built on other people's expectations? Franklin would remind us that every purchase has a hidden cost. The cost is not only the price written on the label, the cost is also the time needed to earn that money. The cost includes the opportunities we give up. The cost includes the freedom we risk losing. The same principle applies to debt. Naturally, some debts can have a productive purpose, such as those used to finance investments or activities capable of creating value. But Franklin warned against debt created only for consumption. When borrowed money is used only to anticipate temporary pleasures, the bill always arrives. And often the cost is much higher than expected. Another aspect Franklin would probably emphasize concerns the management of attention. Today, the most valuable resource is not only money. The most valuable resource is the ability to concentrate. Large companies compete to capture every minute of our time. Every notification, every video, every piece of content is designed to capture our attention. Franklin, who carefully organized his days, would invite us to protect this invisible wealth. Because a constantly distracted mind struggles to build any important project, and a person who does not control their own time will hardly be able to control their financial future. Another element makes Franklin incredibly relevant today: his idea of success. Today, success is often measured through spectacular images. Huge houses, luxury cars, expensive watches, exclusive vacations. Franklin would probably observe all of this with curiosity, but he would hardly consider it a measure of wealth. For him, true success was having enough financial independence to be able to say no to a job that goes against your values, no to unnecessary expenses, no to the pressure of constantly proving something to others. This is a form of wealth that is not always visible, but it is the form of wealth that lasts the longest. And it is interesting to notice how this principle is shared by many great contemporary investors. Most of them speak very little about luxury. They speak about time, about patience, about continuous learning, about rational decisions. Exactly the same themes Franklin discussed almost 3 centuries ago. Perhaps this is the reason why his ideas have never gone out of style. They were not connected to the American colonies. They were not connected to the 18th century. They were connected to human nature, and human nature, despite all technological progress, continues to face the same challenges: the temptation of immediate gratification, the difficulty of maintaining discipline, the fear of giving up something today in order to obtain more tomorrow. Benjamin Franklin did not have. When people talk about Benjamin Franklin, many immediately imagine the scientist who studied electricity or the politician who helped create the United States. In reality, all of this came later. Before becoming a historical figure, Franklin had already become a highly successful entrepreneur. And this is exactly the part of his life that is often forgotten. After establishing himself as a printer in Philadelphia, Franklin understood that working for someone else would guarantee him a salary, but would hardly provide freedom. With determination and thanks to the help of some financial supporters, he opened his own printing business. The decision was risky, competition was strong, and failure was a real possibility. But Franklin had an advantage that many of his competitors did not have. He was not simply selling a service, he was building trust. He delivered his work on time, that he kept his word. He paid attention to every detail. In an era when reliability was as rare as capital, his reputation became his most valuable asset. Soon, his business began to prosper. He printed newspapers, pamphlets, official documents, and increasingly requested publications. But the real turning point came in 1732. That was the year when he published Poor Richard's Almanac. At first glance, the publication seemed like a simple almanac. In reality, it was much more. The book contained weather forecasts, practical advice, curiosities, sayings, and reflections about everyday life, with simple and direct language. Franklin managed to win over thousands of readers. The Almanac became one of the best-selling books in the American colonies and continued to be published for 25 years. The result was an enormous publishing success. But above all, the Almanac demonstrated one fundamental quality of Franklin. He knew how to create value before searching for profit. People bought his work because they received a real benefit from it. And when value is created consistently, money tends to follow. This principle is still valid today. The strongest companies are not those that chase immediate profit. They are the ones that solve real problems and earn people's trust over time. Franklin understood this almost 3 centuries in advance. As his profits increased, he could have allowed himself a luxurious lifestyle. Many people would have done so. Franklin did not. He continued to live with moderation. He avoided waste. He reinvested a large part of his earnings into his business and into new projects. For Franklin, money was not a tool to impress others. Money was a tool to increase personal freedom. This difference in mindset is enormous. Those who use money to appear successful often become slaves to their own expenses. Those who use money to build opportunities become progressively more free. Franklin belonged to the second category. As the years passed, his investments and activities continued to grow. His financial situation improved so much that, in 1748, at only 42 years old, he made a decision that today we would consider revolutionary. He stepped away from his daily business activities. He transferred much of the management of the printing business to his partner and decided to dedicate his time to what he truly considered important: scientific research, public life, diplomacy, education. The improvement of society. He had achieved what today we would call financial independence. Not because he possessed unlimited wealth, but because money had stopped controlling his time. Franklin was the one deciding how to live his days, and perhaps this is the most authentic definition of wealth. Many people believe that being rich means owning expensive cars, huge houses, or luxury items. Franklin would probably have smiled at this idea. For him, true wealth was the ability to choosing how to use his time, choosing which projects to follow, choosing to contribute to society without being forced to work only because of financial necessity. This concept deeply influenced his way of life. He continued studying every day. He founded libraries. He promoted cultural institutions. He participated in the creation of civic and scientific organizations. He demonstrated that economic success can be a starting point, not the final destination. And here we see one of the deepest differences between those who accumulate money and those who build lasting wealth. The first measures success according to how much they own. The second measures success according to the freedom they have achieved. Benjamin Franklin certainly belonged to the second category, and all these experiences led him to create a series of simple but extremely powerful principles. Rules born from observation, experience, and decades of personal discipline. Rules that can still change the way we think about money today. After observing the life of Benjamin Franklin, one thing becomes clear. His wealth was not the result of a lucky opportunity. His wealth came from principles applied with almost extraordinary consistency. And this is exactly why his ideas are still so relevant today. They do not depend on the era. They depend on human nature. Let us look at the 7 rules that guided his life. First rule: time is the most valuable capital. Franklin wrote a sentence that became famous throughout the world. Remember that time is money. Many people interpret this expression as an invitation to work without stopping. In reality, the meaning goes much deeper. Time is the only resource that cannot be recovered. Lost money can be earned again. A wrong investment can be corrected. But a wasted hour is lost forever. Franklin organized his days with extreme precision. Every morning he asked himself a simple question: what good will I do today? And every evening he reflected on how he had used his time. He was not looking for perfection. He was looking for continuous improvement. Today we live in an age of permanent distractions, notifications, social networks, endless videos, hours that disappear without leaving any value behind. Franklin would remind us that true wealth comes from the way we invest our time, not only our money. Second rule: invest in your mind before anything else. Benjamin Franklin bought books even when he had very little money. For many people, this would have been a luxury. For him, it was a necessity. He understood that skills create returns that no crisis can erase. A fortune can decrease. Knowledge, on the other hand, continues to create opportunities. Even today, this principle is surprisingly modern. Learning a new skill, studying a language, understanding finance, improving communication. Every piece of knowledge acquired increases our value over time. Franklin considered education an investment with returns that could last an entire lifetime. Third rule: live below your means. This is probably one of the hardest lessons to apply in the modern world. Despite the success of his business, Franklin always avoided excess. He did not try to impress others. He preferred accumulating resources rather than displaying them. Today, the opposite often happens. Many people increase their lifestyle every time their income increases. More salary, more expenses, more debt, more dependence on work. Franklin would have described this behavior as a form of voluntary slavery. Financial freedom begins when expenses grow more slowly than income. This is the difference between appearing wealthy and truly being wealthy. Fourth rule: reputation is worth more than gold. Franklin built his fortune because people trusted him. He delivered on time. He respected his commitments. He was fair in negotiations. His word had value. Today, reputation capital is even more important. In a hyper-connected world, trust opens doors that money alone cannot open. Every promise kept increases our value. Every promise broken reduces it. Reputation is an invisible investment. Building a reputation takes years. A reputation can be destroyed in minutes. Fifth rule: discipline beats talent. Franklin did not attribute success to genius. He attributed success to habits. He even created a personal system to improve his character, focusing on 13 virtues such as moderation, order, sincerity, and perseverance. Every day he checked his progress. A kind of personal improvement. Benjamin Franklin died on April 17, 1790, at the age of 84. Around 20,000 people attended his funeral. For a city like Philadelphia at that time, this was an extraordinary number. People were not only saying goodbye to one of the founding fathers of the United States, they were honoring a man who had dedicated his life to leaving the world better than he had found it. And perhaps this is the most important lesson. When we think about wealth, we almost always imagine numbers. A bank account, a fortune, a house, an investment. Franklin, however, invites us to look beyond that. For him, wealth was a tool, never the final destination. Money had one true purpose. To by time, to by freedom, to by the possibility of choosing your own life. And this difference is enormous, because those who live only to accumulate money risk becoming slaves to it. Those who use money as a means can transform it into a tool of independence. Benjamin Franklin never tried to appear wealthy. He preferred becoming wealthy, and above all, He preferred remaining freed in an age where everyone seems to want to display a perfect life. His example is almost revolutionary. He reminds us that true prosperity does not need to be displayed. True prosperity appears in our choices, in our peace of mind, in the time we can dedicate to the people we love, in the ability to say no to what does not align with our values. Perhaps this is the true meaning of his presence on the $100 bill. This is not a reward for wealth. This is the symbol of a man who understood how to create value before accumulating money. If we had to summarize everything Franklin taught us, a few ideas would probably be enough. Invest in yourself first, protect your time, live below your means, build a solid reputation, let money work for you, and always remember that freedom is worth more than luxury. These are simple principles, but their strength comes precisely from their simplicity. They do not promise wealth in 30 days. They do not talk about secret formulas. They do not chase the latest financial trend. They require patience, discipline, responsibility, qualities that never go out of style. Perhaps this is the true paradox that we live in an age of unlimited information, yet we continue to forget the most important lessons that we search for increasingly complicated strategies. While the answers are often found in the simplest principles, Benjamin Franklin left us a compass. The choice to use it belongs to us. Because financial freedom is not built through one single great decision. It is built through hundreds of small daily choices. Every saving decision, every book read, every skill acquired, every investment made with patience, every unnecessary purchase avoided. These are the actions that, day after day, transform an ordinary person into a financially free person. And remember, wealth is not about always owning more. Wealth is about needing less and less to truly feel free. Thank you for following this journey through the life and ideas of Benjamin Franklin. If this video gave you a new perspective or made you think differently about money, share your thoughts in the comments. Reading which of the 7 rules you consider the most important will be fascinating, along with discovering which ones you have already started applying in your own life. If you enjoy these deep explorations dedicated to the great thinkers of wealth, economics, and financial freedom, subscribe to Paradox Money and activate the notification bell. Understanding money is important, but understanding the principles that guide money can change a life. See you in the next video.